Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us and welcome to the chat. We are super excited to bring you this special show this evening, December 7th, on us adding another person to our show. We're adding a co-host to our show. And so we're super excited to have you join us. We want to make sure that everybody gets in. Come on in, come on in. Type up there where you are tuning in from, and let us know if you are here for one of our finalists, so we'll know exactly who you all are rooting for. I'm going to go ahead and give you a little bit of the rules. It's not really a rule, but what to do once we wrap up the show, what you need to do if you are here to vote for one of our finalists. We do have 4 finalists. We have Misty Frost. We have, I'm sorry, hold on. We have Misty Frost, which is our first finalist. And I don't want to, I just kind of went blank. We have Chanel, we have Quenisha, and we have Amir. Okay. So, so I want to make sure that, and they are going to go in the order in which I just announced. Okay. So we have Misty, Chanel, Quenisha, and Amir. So just go ahead and type up in the comments where you're tuning in from and who you are here to represent. Okay. And we are going to be adding our first guest here in just a few minutes. We are waiting for Will to come on in. Doing this alone, and I could just see his handsome face. Can you hear me? I still cannot hear you.
Wait a minute.
Okay, and so I'm super excited. Go ahead. Okay, hello, welcome, Katrina. If I get your name wrong, it is not on purpose. I promise you, it is not. But welcome, Katrina. Welcome, April. Katrina is here for Chanel. April is here for Misty. Hello, welcome, Layla. Thank you for joining our show. Asia is here. Hey, Chanel. Dorothy is here. She is here for Amir. Hello, April. Welcome, Christopher. Yes, everyone can hear me, but I'm trying to hear Will. So it's I can't hear you. I still can't hear you. Can anybody hear Will?
Can anybody hear me at all? Anybody hear me?
Walter is here. So yeah, just go ahead and keep coming in. And like I said, in about 10 more minutes, we are going to bring in our first finalist. And let me just tell you all, let me just take the time to tell you all what's going to happen. So we're going to interview not really interview, but we are going to talk to each one of the co-hosts. They get a 15-minute slot. Okay, so Will, they can hear you. I just can't hear you.
Oh, because it's showing me the little meter that
so I don't know. Do you think it's my volume? Do I need to turn my volume up?
It's not my, because I was like,
God.
Now.
It was me. I'm so sorry. It was my volume. I couldn't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh my God. Thank you.
I'm so sorry. I was like, well, wait.
No, that's good. That's good. I thought, it was another one of those nights. I was like, man.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Thank you, Lord. Just, charge it to my heart. Or charge it to my mind, not my heart. Yeah. Okay. So y'all, thank y'all so much for somebody who's like, okay, like, come, thank you, Lord, because I was not processing. I need to turn my volume.
All right. So that's good.
Yes.
It'll be good. So you let everybody know what we're here for.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that everybody tuned in. I'm excited to see what's going to happen tonight.
I am too.
We've been talking all day, what's going to happen, checking out people's pages to see who's sharing it and all that kind of stuff. Yes. We'll talk to the finalists a little bit later. I see Misty in the dressing room. She's getting ready.
Yes.
Got that head tossed. All right, Misty.
So if you are just now tuning in, go ahead and put in the comments where you are tuning in from and who you are here for. Okay, and let me finish up telling you what you're going to do. After we are done at 8:15, about 8:15, give me about 5 minutes, about 8:20, you will be able to leave the show and go over to the chat and you will be able to vote. Okay, you will be able to vote for the person that you are here for. Okay, you will be able to vote. It's going to be an A, B, C, or D. Just type who it is, A, B, C, or D, whoever it is that you are here to vote for. Okay, and then you want to make sure that you are commenting when your finalist comes up there. You want to make sure that you are, participating, because they need to know what it's like to have guests participating, and they are being able to watch the comments and see what's going on in the comments and answer questions and talk and all that lovely, wonderful stuff that Will and I do together. Now we're adding the co-host. So,
so with that in mind, what are you looking for? What are you looking for?
I am just looking for someone who can vibe with us. I don't do much on change. I'm not really a big, I'm working on it. I think I say that all the time. I'm working on accepting change, because things change, and it's okay that things change. So I am just looking for someone who can vibe with us, and that is that could just flow, that it's a nice flow. They bring a different perspective, because we have already come to the conclusion that a lot of things you and I agree.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. So we need to shake it up a little bit. We need to shake things up a little bit. And so we that was our conclusion, that we just needed to add in someone. So I'm just looking for somebody who's able to vibe with us and, can fill us both out, and still just even if, it's a difference of opinion, if you will, we still can walk away and it's like, that was good. And, everybody could understand everybody's perspective of opinion, and we're still good to move on to the next show, and not that we coming back, one less person and like, yeah, that didn't quite work out. Somebody didn't quite work out,
Exactly.
So yes. Hey y'all, tuning in now for vote for our girl Chanel Whitaker. She at 7:30. All right, okay. I see y'all. We got a lot of people out here. So let me go back. We got Lakia. I hope I pronounced that right. Christopher. Lakia is here for Chanel. Christopher is here for Misty. Michelle, thanks for joining. She's our regular audience member. Kim, she's one of our regular audience members. Kiara, regular. Asia's a regular. Layla, I hope that's right. She's here for Amir.
Hey.
Yes.
I know her pageant world.
And Lakia, she's got a whole list of people. Kenyatta and Shelly and Tequila. And I hope that's said it right. Michelle, Tanya, Gerald, Robinette, Montreal. Okay. I see y'all. All right. So when you leave here, make sure you head over to the chat. It is going to be a poll that's going to be in the story. Okay. You have to go in the story. You have to look at the story and go in the story and hit your finalists in the poll. Okay. All right. So Will, what's going on?
For me, okay, so this is what I'm looking for. Like we already said, because you and I, we've been friends for a while, so we kind of, I guess what brought us together is because we think alike on a lot of stuff. But what I want for this show is I want somebody to bring it. I want somebody who's not afraid to share their perspective, even if it's totally opposite of, what I do. Because, sometimes I say things off the wall just to bring the heat a little bit. So I'm looking for a co-host who's not afraid to stand in her own voice or in his own voice, give his opinion, and just, be real with it. That's what I'm looking for. I want somebody who's going to shake it up. That's the fact from and who's not afraid
to shake up a little bit, because sometimes I think I just be like, okay, well, all right.
Yeah, you got a halo on your head.
Yeah, well, and we know that is not true. So yes, so I just need to be shook up a little bit. I might need to walk away with like, okay, okay, I just need to feel that feeling for a minute and be like, okay, you need to bring it, because that's what it's about. You need to bring it, and I need to up my skills. So that's what I'm looking. I'm looking to be pushed to that limit, up my skills, and just be a better version of myself come 2021. And if hope that third person is going to make me do that, then that's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for.
And I think the right person who will be the right fit will make all of us be on point with our game, because we just want us to stand that much firm in the show for the chat. Yeah. All those conversations to the table and have people. That's what I love about our show, because it's just not a 3-way or a 2-way conversation. It won't be just a 3-way conversation, but we have our amazing audience who chime in each week and let me know that I'm wrong most of the times, and I take it, because I know I'm a little out of the box, sometimes. But I love the conversation that we're able to have. That's why it's called the chat,
Yes,
And
yes.
hey, who's our first person?
All right, so we are now bringing to you all our first finalist that we have up. And so I want you all to throw up hearts, I don't know if you can throw up hearts, but whatever you can throw up, some claps, hands, whatever it is you can throw up in the comments for our first guest, Misty Frost. Welcome, Misty. Will is going to bring her on. Hello, Misty.
Hi.
How are you doing? Thank you so much for actually submitting your application and being here and accepting our
The invitation to come. Yes.
to be a finalist for the chat. So thank you so much on that. But I do not want to hold us up, so I want to get right into it. How are you? How are you doing?
I am doing fine. I'm just excited about this opportunity. I've been watching a couple of your shows, and I just, I love the dynamic that you have together. And I was just kind of like thinking about, well, how can I just add to this little, this gem that you all have created? So I hope that I can do my best, during this 15 minutes that we have together.
Okay, awesome. All right, well, I would like to get started with this. What are your goals for yourself and for the show? What is it that you are expecting to receive and give to our audience, and even for yourself and for Will and I?
Well, pretty much it's kind of like I have a unique perspective and viewpoint on life. And I have a sense of humor, and I tend to have a dark sense of humor because I can pretty much laugh at just about anything. But I think pretty much in this day and age, that's what's needed.
Yeah.
We kind of, we need to kind of look at the lighter side as opposed to the darker side, because right now everything is dark. So, and then sometimes I kind of battle with myself with, are you going too dark? And then we're in this society where everything is canceled. And if you say the slightest little thing wrong, then everyone is ready to kind of like hang you up and torch you like, like a witch. And so it's been scary because it's like, okay, I know I have a voice and I know I have something that needs to be said. But at the same time, it's scary because people are scary. People are judgmental.
Yeah.
And they come after you, and they're bullies, and I'm scared. So it's been like, pretty much that battle of, do you be you and come out and be that? And I've had a slight experience of that. And it was kind of like, you're everyone loves you when you're on top. And then when things happen, they're ready to kind of kick you to the curb like you're nothing. So, it's definitely a hesitance with kind of tipping your toe back out in that water. Because it's scary.
It is. As you know, the chat is, and if you don't know, let me just tell you, the chat is, what is Will? Unfiltered, unscripted,
Yes.
Unapologetic.
Yes. So you can say what you need to say, and we're gonna walk away, and everybody is gonna be like, okay, that was her opinion, and that's what it is, and we're gonna keep it moving.
Yes, so, I like that. Yes.
So, all right. So thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that. All right, my friend.
Okay, so
all right.
Way into our first hot topic, and then you'll segue into yours. So I'm going to start off. This is a scenario question. You know what? I've always been honest about, I was a mess in my previous life before I accepted the Lord and everything. Now, I'm not like that. But this is the scenario question of what would you do situation. So I'm going to read it. So Paul and Tish have been married for 7 years. Tish is excited that this summer her best cousin, who is also single, Maria, is coming for 2 weeks to visit. The day before Maria arrives, Tish's job moves her to nights. Tish then calls her cousin Maria to let her know that she needs to get a hotel for her visit or cancel her trip because she can't stay alone at home with her husband. So is Tish being smart or non-trusting and insecure? Now, I've been the cousin, and if Tish was smart, follow her. But what do y'all? What
I cannot.
Yeah, I'm the person that's okay. We're just going to get a hotel for that night because I'm not. It's not that serious. I'm just going to, get a hotel for that night. I don't want to mess with anybody's. I don't want anybody's husband. Period.
Okay, so now what do y'all think? Would you tell cousin? Would you tell baby cousin she need to go get a hotel, or would you let baby cousin stay?
But why isn't baby cousin getting a hotel?
Well, because the cousin was like, you can't stay at the house with my husband now that I work nights. I don't basically want you to stay at the house now that I'm on nights. Like I'm not really. So she's just trying to figure out like, is she being petty because she don't want the cousin to stay at the house, or is she being petty or insecure, or is she thinking on the right mind like, okay, yeah, I think you need to get a hotel. Like I don't want you to be, for me.
But it's her house, so either way, whether she's petty or not, she got to do something else.
A hotel, motel, holiday.
Yeah, like I mean, come on, like look, he or she that does not have a petty relative, please cast the first stone. You just look, they petty, and you just gotta do something else.
I don't necessarily know. Ooh. Okay, okay, we got some comments. Walter says, seems like to me there are true issues for her to want the cousin to stay to get a hotel. Okay, so I'm thinking about my cousins. And they ain't with the shits. They ain't with the shits. They ain't with the shits. And they just, I don't think that they would. And I'd be like, all right, y'all can stay at the house. But I'd probably be like, every break I get, what y'all doing? Like, I'm probably
It definitely says a lot about what she feels about her cousin and also what she feels about her husband, kinda.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because if you trust your mate, then it don't matter really what person.
Right.
So Katrina says baby cousin needs to take that to where they keep the lights on for her. Motel 6.
Right. But I mean, I think I really do think it's a matter of your as you said, laugh out loud, my daddy better than that. Laugh out loud. That's my daughter. But I mean, and I think that's where it has to fall. I think that you got to know who you're dealing with. You got to know who you're dealing with for one. And and it's just got to come to, okay, would he try it or would she try him? And would he be like, no, I'm not with the shits if she does try him or whatever. I just think you just gotta know who you dealing with.
So in a real situation like that, because it's very sensitive, that could ruin your relationship with your cousin. How do you handle that? I know for me, I haven't been in that situation, but I've been in situations similar to where I had to really figure out to ask myself, well, what is the problem here? What am I having an issue with? And I realized it was actually me. Because I know how I have been in the past, and I know what could happen. Not necessarily, I know that was my middle name, and karma.
Scandalous.
Well, you have to be very careful, because your husband, your cousin, both of them are special to you. You got to ask,
But see, that's because you won't live it right. And that eventually that's going to come back to get you. But, those of us that haven't, led the heathen we not constantly looking over our shoulder for karma to bite us. You might be able to just trust your husband and your cousin together and not think anything is
wait a minute, because we are all human, and for real, sometimes things just happen in a moment of weakness. I wish the hell.
Yeah, and people get shot in a moment of weakness. No. Yeah. It's called Snapped. It's a whole series of people that have got murdered in a moment of weakness. Don't play.
Yeah. I mean,
don't let opportunity knock at the door. Reschedule the visit altogether. Okay, that's an option.
Yeah. Okay. Adrian says, you wait till the day before I'm scheduled to come visit. You tell me that I no longer have a place to stay. I'm going left. Well, see, and
I can see that too.
Yeah, see, that's my thought. It's like, okay,
because I'd be like, what about with your husband?
Right, give me a night to stay. I'm sorry, Misty. Go ahead. What was you saying?
No, I would just be like, I don't want your husband. I just need a place to stay. Like, I didn't come in for that.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was at with it. I'm like, okay, you can't just tell me I can't stay like in a. And what if I didn't plan for that. I didn't.
Exactly.
Whatever the case may be. I thought about that too because I'm just like, I don't. But I just feel like she must know something about one of the two. She must feel some kind of way about one of the two that she's just like, no, I'm like, you're gonna have to.
But that's a Dr. Phil episode. Don't like mess your cousin night up with that. Like, no. Just no.
And then what do, because then the other thing is depending on what the cousin look like, because then that's a whole nother issue. Like, what does the cousin look like? Does the cousin look better than you? Do you think that your husband gonna be attracted to the cousin? Do you think what do you like? What do you think the cousin is cute? Like what? Like to me this is just a whole plethora of some other stuff. Like it's a lot of.
The cousin was fine on the picture that they were showing. That could.
But I mean, if they family aren't all of them kind of, fat, like, I mean, most of my family is cute. So, I mean, we all kind of.
Y'all, it's in question. Like, Hey, Will.
Oh, yeah. No, I said that's a 3 question marks on my family tree, but, got a lot of sweet people in the family, though. A lot of
There's a couple folks you don't want to claim. Like if you see them at Walmart, you're gonna like look the other way.
Head up,
hey. So needless to say, I think that we are kind of torn here. I think that it was some that were like, okay, yeah, she could stay, and then some were like, no, she need to get a hotel. But I think at the end of the day, to be quite honest, I think that it's about your trust issues and what what you know about those two. And even still, even if your cousin is a little scandalous, like is she scandalous enough to try your husband? You know what I'm saying? Like is
she scandalous enough to risk her life? Like that's a line. That's a line that you don't cross.
What you said you was scandalous enough to risk your life.
We don't want to talk about it, but yeah. Different life, different person, different show. But Misty, go ahead and talk.
Heal yourself, my beloved.
Yes.
Oh, go ahead. Yes.
What do you want to talk about, Misty?
Well, actually, I was sitting up here thinking about topics, and I was led by one of my favorite shows. My Sunday morning ritual. I watch Hoarders every morning, and it was interesting in it, and kind of like what this topic kind of goes in. A lot of things that people are interacting with, insecurities, doubts, whatever, really just stem from like mental disorders. And one of the things that I love about, I find most intriguing about Hoarders, because everyone is like, oh, it's so gross, like, but it's like the complete physical manifestation of a mental disorder, because it's literally stuff everywhere. And then you have this person that's there and they're just oblivious to it all. And then you have their family members that they're either enabling them or they're ignoring them altogether. And in this particular episode, it was like the cat lady of all cat ladies. Like, I mean, her kitchen counters were piled up like this high with just cat poop. She had like her whole house was like a living litter box. And it was so bad, like she literally, because she was just afraid of being alone. And like her whole refrigerator, she had literally dead cats in her refrigerator. She kept them in like a Ziploc bags as if like it was a filing system. Like, okay, Snowball, May 8th, here you go. You wanna play with Snowball? Here he is. And it was so crazy. Like she had like the refrigerator was for the cats that she wanted to cremate, and the freezer was for the cats that she wanted to like stuff, because she was going to keep all of the cats. And like the crazy thing was, beside the cats, she had like Minute Maid and some mustard. Because if I'm looking through my dead cats in case I get parched, I want to make sure I get some juice. So it was like, and like her son would come and visit and, bring her stuff. And the whole time I'm thinking to myself, at what point do you realize your mother needs to take a ride? Like, we need to take mama for a ride because mama is not right.
Do you think
Okay, go ahead.
Do you? But okay, with people who are hoarders, like, do you think that they're, I mean, I do feel like that there's some type of disconnect somewhere in there. But when family members come in, do you think that they become enablers, or do you think that it's just like, okay, there's nowhere I can start with this? It's nowhere like.
Well, see, that was my question. It's kind of like when, have you all been in a situation where it's been either a family member or a friend, and you've kind of observed them kind of doing something or saying something that really is showing some really signs of something ain't right. And like, what do you do with that? Like, do you talk to, like, do you talk to them? Do you ignore it? Do you, and how long do you ignore it? Because what I found myself angry with was the son, because I'm like, dude, your mom is in there like with a freezer full of cats. And she's like using it like a Rolodex of the cats that she's encountered. And then the cats that are living were all jacked up because they were here like one eye, and they were like, ah. And it was like, this is not good for it. Like, this is wrong on so many levels. And it's like, yeah, you're being a good son, but really you'd be a better son if you like took your mom to get some help because she really needs it. And it made me think of all of the things, because think about it, like cousin Ronnie that always want to shoot up the club because somebody stepped on his shoes. Like, we ignore that, but cousin Ronnie is crazy. Like, like it's been 50 people in this club that got their toes stepped on, and they ain't wanted to kill nobody. Cousin Ronnie, is the one that took it to the next level. So it's kind of like that thing where, how long do you let something go before you say something? And the intriguing thing is, it's kind of like we're okay with allowing, it's like it's okay for my mom to be the crazy cat lady instead of my mom being away for a couple of weeks for getting some mental help, for herself.
And I honestly, I think that the unfortunate thing is that when it comes down to Black people, we don't always necessarily jump to therapy. Therapy is not the first thing that's on our list.
But that's mostly what it is.
Right. Yes. That's not usually the first thing that we run to. And I think that, it's sometimes it's that, we, for as long as we've been knowing this person, or whether it be our mother, our aunt, our uncles, cousins, whoever, this is how they've been. This is not, like, we little kid, they've been this way since we were little. And that's what we chalk it up to. But now, I mean, because I think back in the day, it wasn't really a name for it. It was just like, oh, I remember this guy in my neighborhood. We used to call, and it's horrible.
And we all have that. Like, we all know that. Yeah.
Name for him. I don't even say the name. It was just rude. But anyway, but now it's just like, okay, people are suffering from mental illness. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, now it's a name to it. And it's like, okay, how long do we watch this person before we say, okay, we need everybody. We need to be looking out for so-and-so because things are a little shady. And, we went around there and she was just eating raw noodles and stuff. And nobody like that ain't right. And, it's just like, okay, well, is it dementia or is it, what is it? So I do think that, nowadays, I think that people are paying more attention to those sorts of things. But in a hoarder type of situation, I do think that that's at a whole, that's another. But
in actuality, it's kind of like the same thing. Like, the only difference between the hoarder situation and, stuff that's not as obvious is that with the hoarder situation, it is obvious. It's like you can literally see, where there are things that they have been ignoring that they should literally be able to see, but they've been ignoring it. And in actuality, that's what mental illness is. It's things that have been building up, and people have been ignoring and, just basically, covering up or whatever. And then I also find it interesting that, us as a culture, it's easier for us to believe the worst of each other than to believe that someone is vulnerable and really needs help. It's
Right.
like if you come to someone's house and their house is in disarray or a mess, it's easier for you to say, oh, they nasty, or they need to clean their house, instead of saying, well, are they going through depression? What is going on? That doesn't seem, like normal for someone to be behaving like that. If you see someone that's normally dressed up and snazzy, and then all of a sudden they're looking real, dumpy or whatever, frumpy, you're more prone to say, oh, well, what's going on with them? They must be on drugs or whatever, instead of saying, well, maybe they're struggling, maybe they're going through something. And the slightest, or if someone is a little distant, they acting funny, and you done riled up the whole crew against them, and nobody's talking to this person. And that's the time where people really need you to talk to them, where they might be a little bit more, standoffish. But people are so quick to think the worst, as opposed to maybe something else is going on. Like I said, that cousin that's always rah-rah and ready to be rowdy, that might be a cover for other things, but we're so quick to hype them up, like, yeah, my cousin Ronnie, like, that's not a good thing. Like, like Ronnie shut down the club every Friday is not a good thing. We need to cut that down.
Come on, we going. Come on.
Or that drunk family member that shut down every cookout. Like, like, dang, can we have a good event without a fight at the end of the night? Like, it's like those things, those dysfunctional things that we have gotten so used to being normal. It's like, when is somebody gonna say, hey, we need to take a ride? Pack a little bag. We need to take a ride. It's gonna be okay. I'll water your plants. I'll take care, I'll feed cats. Like, the lady with the cat, it was like I wanted her, and I was so mad at the end of the episode, because on behalf of the refrigerator and freezer full of dead cats and all of the one-eyed cats still walking around, I wanted that lady to go for a ride. I feel like, I felt bad for her, because at the end of the day, she was sick. But at the same time, that lady needed to go for a ride, because when you got a Ziploc bag, you got like a whole Rolodex filing system of dead cats in your refrigerator next to the Minute Maid and the mustard. You need to take a ride. And that's okay. Like, it's okay to take a ride when you need
to. Not be okay. And the basically, Misty wants to say, check on your people.
Like, don't just, like, stuff that don't seem right. Like, don't just act like it's not right.
Right.
It's not right.
Right. Yes. Check on your people. Call your other people on your people.
Exactly.
Because somebody might need to take a ride, and you might be the one that might need to take a ride. So, and don't be letting your people have the little dead cats and stuff and the little animals, because that's where it starts. Like, okay, I'm not ready yet. That's where it starts. Then y'all need to be checking on your people, okay?
Yes.
Thank you so much.
You're amazing.
Thank you.
If you are here to vote for Misty, wait until the show is over, and you will have an opportunity to go to the chat and vote for her in the stories on the chat. All right, Misty, we will talk to you very soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
All righty.
That was good. All right. Let's see. I had a whole bunch of messages coming in. I'm like, I can't even.
Right. I was like, wait, I can't.
Ask questions. Ask them in the chat. Yes,
come to the chat if you got some questions. Thank you, everybody. I'm sorry. We're going to try to go back. We're trying to post them as they come in. Thank you all so much for participating in our topic. And I'll turn it over to you, Will.
All right. Our next contestant is Miss Chanel Whitaker. She is from Norfolk, Virginia. She is, she's a whole bunch of things. She is a plus size model. She's fabulous. She's a confidence coach. I'm a transformation coach, so I have a lot that we can talk about. But we're gonna go ahead and welcome to the show our second finalist, Miss Chanel Whitaker. Hey.
Hello. How y'all doing?
How are you?
How are you?
I'm amazing. Amazing. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, and welcome to the show. And I'm very excited to have you here. I'm glad that you can make it. Congratulations again for being a finalist.
Thank you.
Yes.
quite a few people here for you. So, you have a whole show people rooting for Miss Chanel Whitaker. So we're going to go ahead and get this segment started with, I want to ask you just a question, have fun with it. I want to know, how has your life turned out different than what you imagined?
Whoa. Well, for two reasons. The first one is I got a little slow start coming out of high school. So I chose a career that years later I felt was a plan B. Was a plan B. So I ended up loving it. And there's nothing wrong with that. But different is now. I am a self-love advocate, a confidence coach. I am a published plus size model. I would have never, ever, ever in a million years thought that I would be this place. Someone who hid from the cameras. I didn't take photos. I was in the back. I never imagined that I would be published in a magazine, willing to walk down a runway, willing to step out there and show other girls and women, how to love on themselves and how to make decisions, that would afford them the opportunity to think highly of themselves. So it's turned out differently, way differently than I thought. I thought I would be in that rut, that depressive, self-hatred, rut forever. But nah.
Okay.
Nah.
Awesome. Yeah. All right. So, okay. I don't know if you all have noticed or seen. I saw it actually today, and I was quite intrigued by it because I was just like, wow. Today I saw a post that was made by it was an article, and it was in reference to Chantel Broadus, Snoop Dogg's wife, right?
Oh yeah.
And so she posted, we all wasted the best versions of ourselves on someone who didn't give a single F about us.
Wow.
And basically she was noted to say that she's taken Snoop back like 81 times. Like, basically, who was she to talk? She's taking him back 81 times or whatever. So my question to you is, how many times do you got to take somebody back? And how long is it before you realize that you are wasting the best version of yourself with somebody? And if you do leave, is that it? Is that you don't think you can come back? That's what I want to know. Can you come back from a bad situation and continue on with the best version of who you're going to be?
I'm telling you, this got to be divine interventions right here, because I'm telling you, that was one of my topics.
Okay.
Because if you I don't know if you was watching or looking, but I thought it was true, but there was a rumor that Tamar and Vince were kind of like reconnecting since she had her meltdown or hospitalization and all that kind of stuff. Well, that got me to thinking, because I've never been able to break up and rekindle and it be successful.
Okay.
So I saw today that Tamar had, made it clear that that wasn't true, but it still left a question in my mind. How do people do that? How do they reconcile? And how are they able to do that successfully and it be okay? How are they able to overcome those obstacles? Because I'm a single woman. That's one of the perspectives that I can bring to your team. The Lord's gonna bless me to be where you are, one day. But until then, I'll offer my single girl perspectives, okay, if you will. But anyway,
absolutely.
I don't know how people do that. I personally have struggled with that. I haven't done it successfully. I have attempted to reconnect. It's just I haven't been able to do it.
Are you the type person that once it's over, you're not even friends?
For the most part,
it's okay.
For the most part, but it's, I think so. The question for my topic was this: is it more of the psychological or the non-healing of the person? Is it more that, the person that would be in my position with my attitude about it is like, I ain't gonna never trust that person again. What is it exactly? How I would love to talk to somebody who has been in those shoes. Like, you actually fell out, you broken up, you reconnected, it was successful. You were able to move on with that person and live in bliss.
I think it's a lot of maturity that would come with that. I've been married for 25 years, and I think that there is a lot of maturity that comes with that. And no, by no means has it been like, we just kumbaya and down the road. Like, no, it hasn't. But I think it comes with maturity. I think it comes with a lot of forgiveness. I think it comes with a lot of different variables that come with that, because I think that if you depending on what you broke up for, if you broke up because, okay, maybe this is just not a good time for us, and we just need to kind of like, we need to grow, and then we'll, if it's meant to be, we'll come back. Or did y'all break up because of infidelity? Or did you break up, like, it, to me, it's depending on what the breakup was for. Because if it broke up because of infidelity, then it's like, okay, are we going to forget those things? Because you can forget those things, or forgive, not necessarily forget, but then you cannot, it's almost like within yourself, you have to make the decision on not to ever bring those things back up again. Because it's like, okay, this is a new path for us. And although we broke up because of infidelity and we are choosing to get back together or to rekindle our relationship, do we do it based on leaving everything in the past?
Right.
But what about the fact that, I know a couple seasons ago, I brought the question about people changing. I know your mom, for once, she didn't think people could change. But Don't you think for time people, like you said, mature and people change? And then when the universe, God, whoever brings you back together, the timing could be right, that things could work in your favor.
I believe that. I believe that, but I don't know.
What do y'all think? I want to hear from our audience. I want to know. First of all, do you think people can change?
I do believe people can change.
Okay.
People can change.
That a person that you split up from, that you can rekindle a relationship back again with? Do you think that you can rekindle a relationship with somebody that you broke up with, even if it was based off of infidelity? If it was based off of infidelity, if it was based off of, whatever, if it was based on we both need to grow some more, we're both not ready, like whatever the case may be.
Right.
Me personally,
see, you huffing just like me. You huffing just like me, because I don't know about that. Now
I'm all about trying. I'm all about trying. I'm not going to forget. I mean, and I'm not going to be, first of all, I'm a Scorpio. Okay. And so I don't sting right away, but like once you really get under my skin, like my sting is horrible. Like, it's horrible. My mouth is horrible. Like, so for me, it just probably wouldn't work out. It's just, but like, I'm gonna chuck your ass to deuces, and we, that's just gonna be what it is. And like, I might speak to your ass in the street, and I might not, but whatever. Like, I don't know. It just, I don't know. I don't know. That's just a hard place, I think, for me to be in. Okay, wait, is Chanel stuck? I mean, is she froze?
Oh, I thought she was just sitting there looking at you like that. Okay, let's see.
I'm here.
Okay. So, I don't know. So we have a couple of comments. Let me see. Let me go back. Okay, so Kim says, I agree with Shanika. Joanne says, I can't take him back myself. Kim says, I generally don't go backwards. And I know a lot of people who don't go backwards. Asia says, I don't think the relationship will be exactly the same before the incident. Chris says, yes, they can. Tequila says, ain't no sense in it. Tried it, lasted 5 years after reconciliation, and his behavior did not change. Asia, laugh out loud. I did too, laugh out loud. Londa says, I couldn't do it because I wouldn't be able to not mention it again. And I honestly believe you got to know yourself. You got to know what you're capable of doing.
Right.
Tabitha says, my parents overcame infidelity 4 times, and they reconciled, remarried, and have been together the 35 years plus years. 4 years makes 39 years. Oh, they was married. Okay, they have been together for 4 years. Okay, of marriage. They married young, right out of high school. That they definitely say they had to grow up and try. Both found Christ. Yeah, again, Oh, Tabitha, but she struggles with it. You struggle with
I
it
think they
together.
could change. Just
Okay,
change over there with somebody else. They could change. Just change over there with the next person.
with the next one, right? But
Yeah.
let me just interject because my co-host, she's getting sidetracked. She's getting sidetracked because this is the intensity that the show has. So for all the guests that will tune in each week, this is how we bring it. But this is an audition, so we're on a time schedule. And
Okay, I'm sorry.
we can't go over all the comments tonight, but during the regular shows, this is how we do it.
Okay,
This is how we do it. So Chanel, go ahead and transition. Did you have another topic, or was that your topic?
Well, I do. Well, that was one, but I do have one more, and I would like to transition to one that a little bit more serious because I was having a conversation with a couple colleagues today, and I know that we all coronavirus and we all electioned out. I understand it, but I am a nurse by profession, and we were having a question about a discussion about this vaccine. So though we it's coming. So what do you do, employers? Are they going to mandate the vaccine? What do you do? We live in Virginia for the most part. We are in an at-will state, which means an employer can mandate their employees to have the vaccination, except for protected classes, like in the case of religion and things like that. And in which cases they are not allowing employees to backtrack and say, oh, my religion, says that I can't do that. What do you do? What do you do when you're working with that employer and this vaccine comes out? Because they're going to start vaccinating in December.
Yeah.
And they say, all of my employees, they got to take it. But, what do you do? These are your livelihoods. Now we're talking the possibility of people having to walk off jobs, if they don't feel safe taking this vaccine. How are people going to handle that? And I think it's something that people should start discussing now, as opposed to when that vaccine consent form get in front of you by HR.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? They need to start thinking about it. How do y'all feel about it? What are you going to do if your employer mandated? Well, are you going to find another job? What are you going to do?
Well, my spouse is going to be mandated to take it, and he has to take it. And he asked me, was I going to, and they had posted it on the radio they had a poll on whether people were going to take it or not. And he asked me, was I going to? And I was like, no. I was like, I need about 100,000 people to take it. And I'm in a position where I don't have to, no one is, I don't have to take it. But on the flip side of that, in thinking about your question, I just feel like this is first of all, during the whole Corona situation, I just feel like people should have been already starting to, if people were laid off their jobs, when they had to start working from home, I feel like people should have taken that time and should have already started doing something. You should have picked up something. You should have did something. If you sold, you should have been a sewing fool. If you you should have been a coaching fool. If you you should have been a crafting fool. Like whatever you do, that's what you should have been doing. Because in my mind, I feel like the world is going to shut down. It's going to shut down again. And what are you going to do? If you didn't get yourself together in this time of a timeout, if you will, or the world stopping, or whatever, if you didn't take advantage of this time, shame on you. That's how I feel. Like you should have had some type of something going on. But that's just my opinion.
In addition to that, since this all began, we all were saying, we can't wait till it's over. Well, they have something in sight. They have a possible vaccine. Now, true, it's all types of steps. Because I think they said like 6 years it normally takes for a drug to come out. So they've skipped all types of steps. But possibly, 2 drugs that could help bring this thing to an end, or at least a halt. They were saying that I think 70% of the population needs to take it for it to really control the COVID-19 virus. But with this, because this was actually one of my topics, and they were saying businesses were going to do this. This was also PR for businesses because they can advertise, all of our employees are vaccinated.
Yeah.
So, for the service industry, salons, which both you and I own, Shanika, restaurants, they can say, we're 100% safe. All of our employees are vaccinated.
They're giving badges. Yeah, they can have like symbols and badges that say, we're 100% COVID compliant. It'll attract consumers. Yeah.
Exactly. So this isn't what we have been waiting for, a vaccine so that we could get back to life. So why do you feel like some of the people are having issues? I think they said only 60% of the people were saying that they would even think about taking the vaccine.
Because who was the control? Like who were the control, and were they like? I want to know, like some of my family members have underlying health issues. Like, did y'all test the control on people who have heart conditions? Did you test the control on people who have liver issues, kidney problems, different things? Like, I want to know what kind of side effects happen to these people. Because no, for my mother, yes, I mean, like, I feel like for a person, like I said, some of my family members who have underlying health issues, like, yes, I do feel like you need to take it for your safety, even for the flu. But what are the side effects that come along with that? Is it going to make you worse? Is it going to make you because what I'm saying? Like, I'm just not. I just need more. I just need to see more people who may be struggling with some of the things that my family members have get it, and then once they get it, then I'm like, okay, let me watch. Let me just.
Yeah, I said I wasn't gonna be first in line. I might stand back a little bit and watch and see what's going on over there.
Like, you go, like, I'm not volunteering. Like, hell no.
Throw a third leg or something first before I take mine. But
yeah, but but there's a healthcare provider or big healthcare conglomerate in the area that requires their staff to have flu shots unless it's religiously protected. What do you do when your employer say you got to have it? Do you walk off the job? That could create a whole nother issue when this vaccine comes out next month.
Right. You got kids and family. Yeah, it's
and then a lot of people who do not vaccinate their children, and they're saying that it's going to be, that's going to be one of the vaccinations that will be put on, put up for them to get. But I've never had a flu shot. Never. I've never had.
Oh wow. Okay.
Never.
Yeah.
Nope.
Okay. All right, Chanel. Thank you so much.
Yes,
You're welcome. Thank you.
Love the energy.
Yeah.
And Shanika, you can give your spill about the voting after the show.
Yeah.
You can do it.
So once again, if you are here for Chanel, make sure you head over to the chat in about 30 minutes or so. And
30 minutes, y'all. 30 minutes.
Her over on the chat, in the story, in the poll. Okay, if you are here for her, make sure you do that. If you are here for Misty, make sure you do that. In about 30 minutes, you will be able to cast your vote. All right, Chanel, thank you so much. It was definitely
thank you. Thank you.
All right.
I forgot my. I'm sorry. I got carried away. I missed you.
Well, because it was just good. It was engaging, so that's good.
I missed you. I missed us.
I know.
All right. Okay. All right. Next up, I'm super excited. Okay, and I don't have all her accolades in front of me. I do apologize.
I do. You want me to bring her on?
Yes, that would be awesome.
Okay. All right, now I see she has on her thing. She has Quinley, but on her application she put her government name, Quenisha Beckwith. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring her on the screen. Yeah. How you doing, Quinn?
Hey. Can y'all hear me good? Is my volume okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good.
Now, Quinn, she's another one. She has a lot going on. She has eclectic style, cultured and diverse. She thinks of herself as what J. Cole called middle school, grew up appreciative of the old school and mildly impressed with some of the new school ways of music, technology, and doing things. So I'm really excited to hear about what Miss Quinn is possibly going to bring to this table.
Yes. Hello, Quinn. How are you, my love?
I'm doing well. How are you, Shanika? Well, see y'all. Thank you for having me.
No
I am so excited.
All right, well, let's get right into it. So, Quinn, tell us how you felt when I called you and told you that you were a finalist. And not only that, but what do you feel like you can gain from being a co-host on the chat?
So I was really excited about the opportunity. I spoke to you a little earlier about what prompted me to even put my name out there as wanting to be a co-host. And it came down to something you had said when you first started your original podcast. And you just said, I just had to step out, just stepping out on something different, stepping out and believing in myself and just putting myself out there to experience something different. We all have a voice and somebody out there needs to hear it. So what better way? And then this amazing platform came up, and I said, you know what? I'ma just do it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. I had been trying to encourage my daughter, who's 14, to start her own little podcast, because I might be biased because that's my baby, but the little girl got something to say, and I think other people could benefit. Girls her age benefit from it. So I really wanted to do this, one, for myself, but two, to set the example. Say, hey, just go out there and do something different, because if anything, 2020 has told us over and over again that, hey, now is as good a time as any to do whatever it is you've imagined in your mind for yourself. And even if you haven't imagined it, somebody else has. So go ahead and just do it. And so I really just want to gain that experience from the two of you and seeing how you all interact. And you're just on here having a good time, talking about things that need to be talked about, laughing about it, and sharing, your perspectives, and just having a good time, because 2020 has been something else. And then, so I like that term, middle school, because I'm not quite old school, but I'm not quite new school either. So I'm somewhere in that middle. And so I like bringing that energy and just feeding off of my surroundings, with the young folk, and then with, the generations before me, because the wisdom, the knowledge, the style, everything is coming back full circle.
Right.
So what better way than just to engage it all, and then, just really take that on board and, ride this thing out.
Okay, great. All right, Will, what's going on?
I'm going to go ahead and segue into a hot topic, and then I'm going to ask everybody. We always start here at the table, but we always invite our viewers to chime in by typing into the box how you feel about the topic. This topic really has no really rhyme or reason to it, but I was on Twitter trying to build a Twitter following, and I ran across Cardi B is up to her shenanigans again. So she went shopping, evidently, during the pandemic, and she thought that she should post to her fans about if they thought that she should purchase this $88,000 purse. So she got a whole bunch of backlash. She posted, should I spend $88,000 for this damn purse? OMG, it's tempting. Fans, I guess she thought it was going to be cute and people were going to be weighing in on it, but her fans went berserk. They were calling her insensitive. They called her tone deaf. People were talking about how they had gotten evicted, lost businesses, a whole bunch of things. Called her, out of the loop, out of touch. And she responded directly to some fans by offering to match their money that they paid to charities by spending some more of her money, because she said she's paid like $2 million to charities. What have they done? She then later on, she apologized in the tweet, saying that people always come for her for saying things and doing things, but they never come for people like Donald Trump, who always messes up. And then she went later on and ended by saying, do y'all want me to show y'all the purse or what? So anyway, she still was, flaunting the fact that she bought this $88,000 purse. But, she works hard. Do you think that she was wrong for, I guess showing how she's spending her money? She's a hardworking woman. Or do you think she was a little insensitive? What do you think? You think she should have left that tweet on?
I think Cardi B is going to be Cardi B, and we should come to expect her to be who she is. I think people need to back up off of her and live their own life. Like, they are multi-millionaires. Mm-hmm. If you struggling and you're having a hard time right now, get off the internet.
Yeah.
This ain't the place for you, because it's going to be one or the other. Mm-hmm. Either people having a real good time or people having a real hard time. So if you don't know how to take that in, get off the internet and live in your own space, because the internet is gonna bombard you with all of this influence.
Like, I was shocked. She's not the person who I would go to when I'm looking for some help on my morality, or what are some good things I should do with my life. I wouldn't go to Cardi B. That's why I was shocked when she showed up on Biden's thing doing the political advice. I was shocked. I was like, hey, get yours. So I don't, coming at her for, I would expect that from Cardi B, to ask me a question like that. Should I buy this $8,000 damn bag? I would expect that. I'm not shocked.
But please
No, no.
understand. Okay, I mean, I'm just gonna be devil's advocate for a second. Everybody is not broke in the during the pandemic. Okay, everybody is not. I'm sorry. Everybody didn't go through a struggle during the pandemic. Actually, some people was on a come up in the pandemic. Let's just be honest about it. Some people,
Yes.
like
Yes.
some people, it was a come up for some people. Like to be honest, because then you really realize how much money you were spending between leaving work and coming home when you stopping at the Hardee's and at the McDonald's and at the Chick-fil-A, and then when you didn't do that because you working from the house, you really realize how much money you was really saving. So everybody wasn't going through. I mean, I'm not trying to be funny, but everybody wasn't going through hard times and seeing hard times during the pandemic. Some people was actually like, okay, I can save. I wasn't really a spender anyway. You know, I'm at home. I'm able to get what's the daggone, the checks to people, the stimulus and the unemployment, you know, whatever, because you know I can't get no unemployment checks, so I don't even know what the damn name of the damn thing was. so you know, people, it was a come up for some people. Like that extra $600, like you was silly if you didn't put that shit away. I'm sorry, if you didn't put that extra $600 away, shame on you. So it's a come up.
Unemployment each month, they got an extra $600 on top of what they was already getting.
Yes.
Okay.
That's a lot of money. But people were living. People realized too that if you couldn't live off the amount of money that you were receiving for unemployment, then maybe you were already living above where you should have been anyways. And that's what we don't want to address in our communities is you really are okay. Yeah. You just have a spending problem.
Yeah, right.
You just got a problem with keeping up with the Joneses in the Cabrini Greens. That's it. so come on now.
Right.
So what topic did you want to talk about?
So we kind of started with the last guest, Chanel. It was kind of into cancel culture.
Oh yeah.
So we're hearing a lot about it. We got celebrities, Cardi B, Ice Cube. They're taking a different stance now, and the culture is kind of going like, you not one of us all of a sudden. Now they're not one of us because whatever they're saying and whatever they're doing isn't in line with what the everyday citizen has going on. So my thing with that is what I want to know from the viewers and from you all is, do y'all think the cancel culture is toxic or is it needed in the community? And how did we get here? We seem to be more affected by it than others, even though there are, it's not racial or anything. Like Ellen DeGeneres is being canceled. That girl, what's that girl name? Candace Owens.
Yeah.
Like I said, Ice Cube. Do we need to sever those ties in the culture, or is this another way of us being toxic? And instead of engaging and embracing, are we just dismissing?
I think to whom much is given, much is required. So I think there are certain things that people who have this platform, they need to be conscious that they're going to be held to a different standard. Now, with this cancel culture, I do think there needs to be a path for redemption. I don't think once you're axed off, because I think, who was it? Janet Hubert from Fresh Prince? Will Smith, when they had that little red table talk, she said basically he destroyed her. She couldn't get a job anywhere. She lost her home. She lost all this. And, this has been almost 20 years ago. And she's never, I don't think I ever saw her again.
No.
So I think, whatever she was doing off stage that pissed him off, I think, after a little punishment, time in the corner, time out, whatever, I think there should have been a welcome. The same thing with Monique. Monique really has not bounced back yet from this Oprah and what do you call her? Monique, she's wonderful.
Yeah.
So I think a path, some way to redemption. That's what I feel.
Well, who is okay? Because it seems.
What about you, Shanika?
Is Black Twitter like? But I'm trying to figure out who the hell is Black Twitter. Like, who are they? Like, who are these people? Like, who are they to determine? Like, we canceling? Like, oh no, we own it. We canceling somebody. Like, who are these people? Like, I just don't understand. Like, how do they get to determine who is being canceled. And like you said, like even Just Hilarious, like it's been a lot of people, and even Just Hilarious talked about it at one point, and she was just like, how am I just gonna get canceled? Like who is making the decision to cancel me? And then, Asia and I had a conversation about her, and Asia was like, but mama, she was just wilding out. Like she was just doing some really unnecessary. She was on a plane just acting ignorant and being ignorant, just doing some real foul stuff. So, it's like, so, that was, and people just stopped following her. But the sad thing about it is like, like when like how like who, why, when, where, why, like all of that, like who determines that? Who determines? I mean, just like even Misty. So it's not just celebrities, because she said she was written off. Then she said like she said something and somebody got offended by it, and then it was kind of like she was written off. It's like, who makes that determination? And it's really disturbing, because we could say something up here and somebody don't like it, and then it's like, oh, she said this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and it's like, okay, but it's my opinion. So when do we fall back from like, this is being my opinion, to now somebody's taking it all personal and all, being all crazy with it?
Social media, that's when it happened.
Yeah, and I'm just, who's sitting behind the computer like,
or hide behind what you wouldn't say to somebody's face. That's when all that happened.
Wait, say it again, because you kind of went out.
You can sit behind a keyboard and you can be bold enough to type something that you wouldn't say to somebody's face directly.
So that's how you get canceled?
That's how people, you're asking who these people are.
Oh, those people that are canceling people. Right.
Yeah.
It's just sad. It's very sad, because I feel like people are entitled to their own opinions. It's not, people are entitled, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. Everybody is not going to agree. Like, we don't always agree. We're not nobody, none of us, me, my husband, nobody is going to always agree. It's just not going to be there. But I'm not canceling you. I might not like what you said, but hell, it's your opinion at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, it's ridiculous. It's really ridiculous. But as far as like the culture, and I just think that people need to stop. I think that, and we're the only ones that's doing it. I mean, and Ellen ain't going nowhere. She's not going nowhere, because it's still people who are still supporting her. There's still people in many communities who still support her, and no matter. And I feel like, okay, even with being on the chat, I mean, we ain't Ellen DeGeneres, but shit, we got some morals and some values and some shit that we want,
like Asia said, with the coolest monkey in the jungle, I felt some kind of way when I saw that with H&M. I think Black Twitter or cancel culture does have a place and purpose. I still stand by there needs to be a road to the redemption for it. But they're like that checks and balance. They're that watchdog for H&M. If we go in there complaining about this shirt, they ain't gonna do shit about it. But if Black Twitter gets, we talk about messing with their money, some changes are gonna be done. I don't know what Ellen did on that show, other than to me, she was God giving out gifts and money.
Right.
Enough people out that they went to the media, and I bet you Ellen won't be doing that shit no more. She's gonna be back.
Right. And she may not be with the shits. She may not be doing whatever it was that she was doing, but I think that she gave out enough gifts and cars and money and all that to kind of override whatever the shits that she had going on in the background.
She did.
And I agree with Asia. Some stuff does need to be canceled, but how many times, like, people still want Gucci belts? We still out here. We in the middle of a pandemic spending, our stimulus check on Gucci belts when they made this whole blackface sweater. Where's the council at? Where's Cardi? Where's Cardi and Cube at? Because they the one can really make an impact in that area. Because I ain't buying it, but somebody that I do know need to not buy it. So where's the balance? And like we were saying, where's the road to redemption for our people that are impacted? I don't care about no corporations. Gucci gonna be okay. Birkin and Hermes, they gonna be all right. They can get canceled. But if you canceling somebody like Just Hilarious, that was her livelihood. That's what she needs to do in order to, feel good about herself and be who she is and do what God created her to do. And so we cancel her with no road to redemption, so to speak.
Exactly. Quinn, thank you so much.
Yes, Quinn,
thank y'all for having me. This was so much fun. Thank y'all.
Yeah. Okay, so if you are here for Quinn, please make sure you head over to the chat in about Give me about 15, 20 minutes. And yes, and make sure you vote for her. It will be in the story. The poll will be in the story. So make sure you vote for her if you are here, or Quinn. Thank you so much, Quinn, for being.
People gonna be late. Good thing it's gonna stay up for a while, but they late.
Yeah, it does not end until tomorrow at 6 o'clock. So we'll make sure we post that. So it does not end. The poll does not go in until tomorrow at 6. All right. So
Go
thank
tell
you.
followers, go vote.
Yes.
I will. Thank y'all so much.
Yes, absolutely. Have a good one, and we will talk to you soon.
Oh, I'm glad, let them do their thing. So that was good. All right, so we can bring on.
Is it back at me? No, it's not back at me. It's at you.
Oh, that's right. All right, so we're gonna bring on Amir Nasser. He is the brother of. Oh my God, I had to show you pictures of her. She came to the shop. I think I did show you pictures of her when she ran IJM. Hold on, let me bring him on.
Okay. Hello. How are you?
I'm doing fine. How are you both?
Well, thank you.
We're great. Thinking about your thing, I didn't even put together that was your sister until I went to your page and saw her next to you, I guess at your wedding. Was that you got married?
Yeah. I got married back in 2019, right before the pandemic.
Oh, me too. Me too, as a matter of fact.
Oh,
congratulations. Thank you as well. So looks like your people are tuning in.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody.
What do you wish you had known 10 years ago?
Man, 10 years ago, let me see. Okay, so I was in college, I'm pretty sure. Oh my God, it's been 10 years. All right, anyway, what I wish I had known was that I didn't have to have it all figured out. So I'll say a lot of people who are my age, especially when we were in college, definitely felt like, okay, we're comparing ourselves to everyone who's on our level. Oh, this person has all the best internships. This person got a promised job right after they graduate. And I'm sitting there like, what am I going to do? I definitely wish I just knew that if I had patience and if I had just kind of figured out what I wanted to do and focus on what I actually like to do, then I wouldn't have been so stressed out.
Good. Good one.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yes. Awesome. All right. So we're going to just get right into this. So in the news, I think over the last week, we have heard a little bit about Kevin Hart. And he was doing a stand-up comedy. I think it may have been on Netflix. I'm not 100% sure, but he was doing a stand-up comedy. And he made a comment, and he was telling the story about his daughter. And his daughter was saying that she used to like one boy, and then she stopped liking this boy, and she started liking another boy. And so Kevin proceeds to say, oh, that sounds like some hoe activity, right? And so by that time, everybody's hitting him, and of course, I don't know if it's Black Twitter, but we're gonna put it on Black Twitter. No,
they are.
You're talking about Black women. You're down in Black women. Why would you refer to your daughter as a hoe? Why would you? And he's like, and so he came back and he was like, I didn't refer to my daughter as a hoe. I said that it was hoe-like activity. And then this is what got me, because I thought this shit was. I'm sorry, I just thought it was funny because he was like, I called up 3 hoes. He said, I called 3 hoes and asked 3 hoes. I was like, so you just got 3 hoes in your phone? And like, what actually defines them as a hoe? Like, how do you just have 3 hoes? Anyway, so that's where I was with it, because I bypassed the fact that, they mad at his ass because he might have referred to his daughter as a hoe. But I'm like, you just got 3 hoes that you outright said. I called 3 hoes and said, and asked them, was I wrong? And they were like, no.
I wonder what his wife said about that.
Yeah, right.
Was he being inappropriate? Was it just comedic? Was it just, do you think he was referring to his daughter as a hoe, or was it in his mind and in a man's mind, like, okay, this might be some hoe activity? Because I done said that shit about some of my friends when they told me, but it ain't for the whole culture of Black folks, and I'm like, oh, that's some hoe shit. But I'm just saying, like, I don't know.
I think, especially now, I just had a baby, just a heads up, that she's a girl, it's a daughter. So I love her, and I just couldn't imagine using that to describe any of her behavior. You know what I mean? Even let's just say it was 100% true, right? Like it was exactly right and it was true. I would, nope, not my daughter. I don't care what she's doing. Nope. You know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't imagine him doing that. I think it was inappropriate. Comedians make fun of their kids all the time, but you gotta wonder how those kids handle that if they see their specials. And how is his daughter affected by this? Will, what do you think?
Right.
You know what? Kevin is a fool. Kevin did it for laughs. I laughed. I saw it. I knew he didn't think of his daughter as a hoe or having hoish, but that's the type of comedian he is. If he was a pastor, an accountant, I say he was wrong, but Kevin's a fool, and that's how he makes jokes. So I mean, it went over my head. I didn't think anything about it at all.
Yeah,
you thought that.
No, I didn't. Okay, so first and foremost, let's talk about the fact
that sensitive.
Yeah, I have a 22-year-old daughter, and like when her and I were talking about it, and then she was like, "So, Mama," and then I'm just gonna tell you, this is the unscripted, unfiltered, uncut part. So she was just like, "Well," I was like, "Some stuff you'd have done has been a little questionable," and she was like, "Well, the apple don't fall."
Oh, what? I agree.
Oh no!
If my mama was up here, she would probably be like, "And yes," But that was back in my days before I found Christ.
Right. I mean, I think I definitely give him a pass because he's a comedian. Honestly,
yeah.
So yeah, and I think as we need to laugh, like, okay, and like, yes, just as Quinn said, he has made jokes about his children in the past, and not only that, but I did check out the other day. I saw, for whatever reason, Gary Owens keeps coming up in my feed, right? And he had made a comment about his wife and like how many sexual partners she had, and so they have a show, and she went to him and was like, "Can you please stop talking about the number of people that I've been with?" And so he was like, "Okay, I'm gonna try." So then he went and had another show and he did it. And her son or somebody, I don't know if it was the son, but he came to her and he's like, he's still doing the joke. He's still doing the joke. So she was like, "Okay, I thought I told you stop doing the joke," whatever. So I think that that's still a conversation that he would either need to have with his daughter's mother or whatever the case may be. But I feel like if his daughter, or even his daughter, she's old enough to go to him and say, "I feel some kind of way. Like, can you please not do that? Or can you please not say that?" Or whatever the case may be. But I just think even as a comedian, like, are you saying that the comedians need to stop being comedians? Like, I just don't, I just think that we, some things just deserve to laugh and keep it moving. Like, stop it.
I think, and back to Black Twitter, as a Black person who has used Twitter, it's anyone could be a part or on Twitter right now. You're Black Twitter. And it's really just people's opinions. And if people are like, "Oh, I'm never listening to Kevin Hart," I mean, I guess, but there's millions of white people who are about to listen to him and laugh at him being a fool, and he's going to just keep going. I mean, he cheated. He's been in all kinds of scandals, and he's still no one's canceled him successfully.
I guess it would take some whole activity to know whole activity, because hell.
Right. Yes, exactly. Yeah, like, let's talk about his behavior.
So, what do you want to talk about?
So for me, the main topic I brought up happened about maybe last weekend. I feel like it's already buried in the news cycle, but it's called True Kitchen and Cocktails. Oh, yes. And there was an incident where there were some people at some tables twerking during brunch, and it exploded. So I mean, really, to me, I mean, I could bring up my opinion. But it was really, to me, the fact that guy cursed out them tables, and turned off the music, and cursed out the whole restaurant. What do y'all think about that?
The whole restaurant. Did you see it, Shanika?
I did see it. I did.
Yeah, if he had me, I was with him all the way until he got to the F word. Because I was like, you said what you wanted to give them. You talked about how they were acting, but then you put the F word in there, and then that just totally neglected all those people who weren't doing, who was patronizing your restaurant, who was acting appropriate, and I just thought that was just total disrespect against them. But I wasn't mad with him for going to them people and telling him, "This is not what I made this restaurant for. This is not how I want you to behave in my place." But when he said, like, "Get the F out," I was like, "So you done took it? They're canceled."
Right. And the funny thing about him being canceled is the fact that he was in another business deal with another friend who now they are suing each other they were in another restaurant and they're suing each other because of some bad business deals. And he had another restaurant with somebody else. So he's, so I think he just kind of ventured off and got the restaurant that he has now. But you are kind of ruining it for yourself by even saying that. And then people were like, wait, he shouldn't play twerk music if he doesn't want. But like, stop it, because I've been in the mall, I've been in a store, and I've heard music that makes me want to move, but I'm not standing in the middle of the aisle twerking. Like, so, so it's a time and a place for everything. And and then of course after that, I did see like a couple of other restaurants where people were posting and they were playing music and they were letting people twerk all over the place. Didn't nobody have a mask on and booties going everywhere.
Now, I've been to brunches that were lit. And I mean, people were drinking, people dancing, but that was what the owner wanted. So, it's kind of a complex situation. I mean, we're looking at it like True Kitchen and Cocktails, all spelled with a K with a picture of a cock. They got a DJ, and then everyone's just sitting there quiet and stiff. I thought it was weird. It wouldn't be a place I would want to be. I think it's cool. People are having a good time, and I'm just eating, But I think that's really it. Is that even there, he clearly didn't want it to happen, but the way he went about it, I was like, man, what's going on? Cursing people out. I mean, if it was my restaurant, I don't know if I want people twerking, but I mean. But I would curse him out.
I think you're right. If he had that music playing, that's almost inviting because people start getting those cocktails in them. They feel that beat, they're gonna move.
Yeah,
all they know how to do is twerk. They're gonna twerk. That's what they're gonna do.
Right.
So I know if he has this environment and he's trying to get everything needs to be in sync. He needs to have the music for it and make the dress code. Everything needs to flow for whatever this vision is he has or had for this business. We don't know what the end of it's going to be.
Now, what I'll say is that people will twerk to any kind of music for real. So I think, I hear it. I heard all kinds of arguments. But to me, it was the fact that he kind of made it about the fact that they were Black people and that it was respectable, about respectability. And to me, I'm all like, is it respectable to curse out your customers? Can you imagine that review when the white people overheard that?
Well, and what was also odd to me is that when you read the dress code, like it was very specific. Like it wasn't, and I said, really, we get mad when white people do stuff like that, but you made it like, okay, no fuzzy. He was like, no slippers, especially the ones with the fuzz on them. And then he was like, no do-rags, no hats, no. I mean, he was making things very specific that we know, okay, this, Black people do this. Like, so he was clearly like on some other stuff. Like, I mean, and I don't know. I don't know.
But some of these people in the comments.
Yeah, I'm looking at the comments. My favorite word, that part, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't want booty popping in my food.
Now that's true. I mean, now I'm okay. The people I hang out with aren't twerking at the table, but it's not because we're Black, like it's nothing to do with us being Black. I mean, some people want to have fun. That's their table. Don't yell at me.
Right.
Please. My dad in there said I heard 3 of them farted. Yeah, I think it's true though. He could have just escorted them out. I mean, good point, Quinn. If I hear Cash Money take it over for
well, yeah, that's it. That's it, right?
Somebody,
a little, I don't know.
Somebody's gonna be dancing. That's all I can say. I mean, you got a live DJ.
That's it for me. Nuck if you buck. I might. Yeah.
So, for example, would he have been that mad if somebody waltzed, like they played some Earth, Wind, and Fire? Somebody, a couple got up and started dancing. Like it's not about the dancing; it's about the type of dancing. That was all it was.
Yeah. And I think it's a better way. I mean, I think somebody said he didn't want to ruin the image of his business, but he ruined the image of his business by saying what he said. Like them dancing was not ruining his business. What he said ruined it. Like I wouldn't patronize him because I'm like, I don't know what I might get. Like, nah.
Yeah. And you know what else? I just remember he was on Twitter too. He's part of Black Twitter trying to defend the restaurant was trying to defend themselves, talking about someone had a peach douce and couldn't control themselves, trying to make jokes. And I'm like, it's already too late, man. Like you made yourself look like a fool telling other people to be respectable. I know people who don't curse at all. You
Right.
know, like
Right.
they're not gonna come to your place. No way.
Right.
All right. Well, Amir, thank you so much, man, for coming on the show. You are amazing. Amazing. Everybody's coming in. So now it is up to everybody else. Shanika, this is your part.
Yes. Okay. So at this point, bye, Amir. Thank you so much.
I didn't know I had to fix something.
Definitely a pleasure. All right. So yes, this is now we are at the end. So I am headed over to the chat to put up the poll. This is the time that you head over there as well and start your voting. We will start our voting. Give me about 5 minutes to put that up there. And then you have up until 6 o'clock tomorrow. So tell everybody that you know, your mama, your daddy, your cousin, everybody, to go over there and vote for the person that you came up here to see. All right, whether it was Misty, Chanel, Quinn, or Amir. All right, make sure you head on over there and do your voting. It was an absolute pleasure to meet all 4 of them. The show was amazing. Everybody tuned in. Everybody showed out. Everybody showed up and showed out. I really appreciate everyone. And I really hope that I spell her name because some people got her name spelled with an I. Some people got her name spelled with an E.
On her paper, she spelled it that way. That's
with the E?
Way on. I don't know. We have to figure it out. Okay. We did have 11. We chose down from 11. We had 11 people apply. Still a hard decision. And Shanika and I had to sit for a while, and Asia for a while, to figure out how we really narrow those 4 down.
Oh my gosh, yes, it was really a hard decision. It was really, really a hard decision, even for Will and I, to go from 11 down to what we went to. And you see, everybody brought it. Everybody brought it. So I'm really proud of that. And it is going to be a hard decision for you all to vote. So make sure still you head on over, and I'm headed over there to get it going now. And vote for your it's in the store, and it will disappear. Well, it will be over tomorrow at 6. So head on over. Will, I love you. Thank you so much. This has been amazing.
Yeah, excited. And then the season will be beginning in January, so stay tuned for that. We have to get the new host situated with the background and all this stuff. So in January, season 3 coming back lit.
Yes.
All right.
Let me go to this. All right. Love. Okay. So I will speak to you soon.
All right. Talk to you guys later. Love you. Have a good and safe holiday, and make sure you guys go get vaccinated, and then let me know how it was. All right.
Okay. All right, love. Bye.